As of right now, many people are discussing, the, anti-black racism that's came out of the three Los Angeles city council members. And, on this particular channel, we've been also calling out the different things that happens even to, Afro-Latinos as well. Well, you have a, young man here. He's going to call out his own people. And here's some points that he's making in this video and talking about how his community have this anti-black sentiment. And let's go ahead and roll that because this guy here, he's definitely spot on.
Let me start off by saying that I agree 100% with what this commenter is saying. It is because of the tireless efforts, the blood, sweat, and tears of the African American community, the black community of this country, that other minorities like Latinos, like Asians, like Jewish people, like women, etc., have been able to enjoy certain rights and certain freedoms. It is because of the tireless efforts of black leaders and black organizations like MLK, like Malcolm X, like the Black Panther Party, like the NAACP, and so many more, that we as Latinos, as a minority, at least in the scope of this conversation, are able to enjoy so many freedoms. The freedom to not be discriminated against for being Latino in our employment, in buying a house, in starting a business, in voting, and so many more things, guys. Segregation was ended by the efforts of black people. Education, things like affirmative action, that is all due to the efforts of black people, guys. And yet, in the comments of this original video, I'm seeing so many Hispanics being like, oh, what she said wasn't racist, or that, oh, yeah, they were just having casual conversation. All of my Hispanic parents talk like that. My family, come on, that's like normal. It's not like that. No, we need to erase that way of thinking. That just because the elders in our family, los viejos, mi mami, tu papi, tu abuela, tu abuelo, tío, tía, no. We need to get that chip of racism and colonization out of our heads. And I'm not afraid to say it, and I don't care about anybody's opinion. This is an objective fact. A lot of Latinos are racist towards black people and other races, but in particular are anti-black. It's literally ingrained in our culture, in the phrases that a lot of Hispanic people use. I'm not going to say them because they're very offensive, but obviously my fellow Latinos saben muy bien de lo que yo estoy hablando. So no, what Martinez said is not okay. It is racist and disgusting. A lot of the Latinos in my comments wouldn't be saying that this was okay if the shoe were on the other foot and they were being discriminated against. And Latinos were being talked about. Mexicans, Central Americans, South Americans, Caribbean Latinos, blah, blah, all that. It would be a different story. Y'all would not have this energy. If you're a first-gen Latino like me and you hear your fellow Latinos, either your friends or your family members, relatives, whatever, say racist, homophobic, misogynistic things, check them. Don't allow for them to continue with that mentality and think it's okay to be like, oh yeah, in a joking manner, because it's not, guys. It's really not. If Latinos are ever to progress as a people, we need to remove the chip of colonization and of self-hatred for indigenous people and black people out of our heads, installed into our heads by the Spaniards, by the Portuguese, and by the French. And finally, just respect black people, y'all. Respect them, because the contributions that they've made to our rights, we enjoy more so than them. Latinos and other minority groups are more privileged than black people, despite them fighting for these rights in the first place.
Before I get started with this commentary, I understand that not all of any group think, anti-black, racism. I understand that, and I'm never going to say all. But this man here knows his community, and he said that anti-black racism is ingrained into the culture. He said it, not me. He know his people. He know what's going on, right? But the question I always ask these different groups of people, what has black people done to you? And you never could really answer that question because you know good and well black people didn't do nothing to you. We didn't go and invade your homeland. We didn't take your resources from you. We're not out there doing vile things to your women and your children, in your homeland. We haven't caused any kind of coups in your homeland and dissensions. We haven't, assassinated any of your leaders who's trying to do the right thing for the people because they didn't do what we want them to do. We never did that. The people that a lot of them love is the people that did all that to them. The reason why you leaving your homeland is because of how the white supremacists have messed up your own homeland, and you have to flee, you have to run from your homeland and come up here to a land that has already been built, and for the rights that has already been set forth. What this man talked about is say, hey, wait a minute, we come into this country and with all these rights, because they didn't fight for no voting rights. They haven't fought for no civil rights. So show me a movement involving his community that fought for any kind of rights. I'm talking about on their own, by themselves. Nobody was there. They were going toe to toe with the white supremacists. You're not going to find it. Everything that they're experiencing and enjoying in America, the reason why they can come here and open up businesses, whether it's a street vendor or a physical business, is because of black Americans and what we've done. Because prior to that, white folks wasn't having any of that. You understand? Even when they came over prior to, the Civil Rights Bill, they for sure wasn't about to go into no white area. Now they can live in white areas. They can go to white anything because of the fight and what we have done in history. As many times black people have fought for them not to be deported. The first so-called black president fought for them to stay with the DACA program. He did more for them than he did for black America. And black America is the one that put him in office, because black people came out in record numbers to vote in Barack Obama. I remember it. It was like a movement for people to get registered to vote at that time period. I'll never forget it. It was a movement. And everybody was happy to get registered to vote. People couldn't wait for election day to go vote for Barack Obama. That's what shocked the Republicans. I'm like, wait a minute. Look how many black people coming out to vote. Oh, hell no. We got to start figuring out a way to stop this. They got spooked. And because of black people voting, that's why they got the DACA program. You talk about the Asian community. You had things like the Chinese Exclusion Act at one point in time, where they wouldn't let them over here. You had brothers like Frederick Douglass speaking up against, discriminating against the Chinese people. It's like we have fought, for everybody. Black people fighting against the Japanese internment camps, or discrimination against Jewish people. Black people have always been there to fight for what's right. And what he said about we get privileges they don't get, and he's 100% right. They're given more job opportunities than black Americans. Asians are given more job opportunities than black Americans. We say, well, this is what they love to say. Well, because they work hard. Really? They work hard? Well, if they work hard, why did they leave their homeland? If they work so hard, right? Then take that hard work over there. There was no America until black America built it. There was no America for them to come do anything. Everything's built. Now you're in the maintenance phase. And when you work hard, you're doing it for your own personal family. So what are you talking about? You act like you're doing America a service by you being here. Talking about you work hard. You do work hard. You're right. And then you retire with a broken back. You do. And your body worn out. You do. I don't want my people working hard. I want my people working smart. So you can say that y'all don't work hard. Hell no, I don't work hard. You're right. I don't work hard. I work smart. And working smart is the right way to go. Most of your billionaires, they work smart. That's why they're billionaires. They don't work hard. That's how that works. But the anti-black racism that's being practiced, this is something that a lot of black people, this is new to them to hear this. All our lives we know about the white supremacists, but we have never, really dived into the anti-black racism in these other groups. And I believe in this time period that God is uncovering it now. God is taking off the blinders now and exposing this of what's going on. And this is good, because I believe God wants us as a people to focus on ourselves. And if we want to work on some unification, let's unify with ourselves. You're always talking about a black and brown coalition. There's no coalition because nobody came to the table for a coalition. And we see people like Sheriff Villanueva over there in Los Angeles County Sheriff, how he do black people. He got whole white supremacist gangs in his sheriff's department. If you want to build a coalition, let's build a coalition in black America. You want to build a coalition? Let's build a coalition with other black people, like Caribbean people, African people. We're going to build a coalition. That's a coalition I'm willing to build. I'm not trying to build no coalition. Listen, individuals, and I'm going to repeat this, individuals of any group who are about the right thing and rock with us, I will always rock with them, individuals. But just blind, support of groups? No, because these individuals have been vetted and they cool and XYZ, and that's fine. I will support an individual. I'm okay for you supporting individuals that you know from whatever community. As long as they've been good to you and good to the people, yeah, support them. But blindly, no. No. And with this, and even politically, they trying to do this like what they talked about in those tapes from the LA City Council tapes about trying to have a hostile takeover of anything that black people have. This is what they're trying to do to black people. They're not trying to do it to them folks. Notice that. They're not trying to take over their situation. They're not trying to gerrymander their districts or anything. They want to make sure to try to take away from black people, the people that's responsible for them being here and enjoying the freedoms that they're enjoying, right? They want to hurt those people, not the folks. And that's fine. That's good. Because for too long, black people have been coddling them. For too long, black people have been just turning a blind eye to the anti-black racism, and enough is a freaking enough. So shout out to this, young man for calling it out. I appreciate him. I highly appreciate him for doing this. But we got to get with the program, folks, and understand the reality speaking. We have. We all we have. That's it. We need to work with our community and build that way. Once again, I'm going to repeat it because I don't like 1,000 emails. If you are a person of any other group and you don't feel this way, that's not how you be. You like this young man, right? Let's say you're in the Hispanic community and you like that young man. Call it out. Be like him. I have no problem allying with a person like him. But just in general, no, I'm not doing it. Because like he said, it's ingrained in the culture. We know white supremacy, that's ingrained in their culture, right? So we don't blindly support them. So yeah, that's just kind of how we have to go. But y'all let me know what y'all think, about, this video. Like I said, once again, I'm going to say it again. I appreciate it. But this is something that should have been talked about a long time ago. And now we're opening our eyes. Now we need to get on the Congressional Black Caucus to drop that freaking black and brown coalition talk. There's no black and brown coalition. This man himself said anti-black racism is ingrained in the culture. So he's telling you there's no such thing as a black or brown coalition.